I hope you're having a good day. In the last video, we shown how I added 2 add-ons to Elementor display condition functionality. As you could see here I'm demonstrating the feature, but here I added one to show element by product price, and also I demonstrated another element by geo. So in this video, we'll go ahead, we'll create a plugin add-on from scratch, and I will show how to add step by step the 3 elements, 2 from the previous video, the geo, show element by geo-location, show WooCommerce product by price condition, and we'll add one more, which will be, I seen someone asked and said it will be a cool feature to add. So we will add a condition by a custom field value. 2 important notes. This feature currently is in beta. It's not out yet, so the code and hooks may change. I doubt it if it will change in the next week or 2 until it goes out, but who knows. Note number 2, this is not production ready, meaning this is a sample how we could get the elements working, but it's not a full-on production ready example. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it. Step number 1 will be to create the plugin folder and file. So let's go into cd, content, plugins. Now make dir. We'll call it Elementor condition display add-on. Okay, cd into this folder. Now we'll create the file. We'll call the main file same as the plugin name with .php. .php. Okay. Now we should have the plugin ready. Yeah, here we have the PHP file. Now we will start by calling the plugin with a name. Okay. PHP. Where is my question mark? Okay, PHP. Now we will declare the plugin name, which is, we do a comment, then we could do a plugin. Oh, nice. As you can see, I'm using a Github Copilot that completes a lot of what I want. So the plugin name will do it. This should be enough. Let's go to the browser, which will be here. Let's go to plugins. And we have, let's see, which one is it? Yeah, this is our plugin. We activated it, and now basically nothing happened because we still don't have any code. So let's start by defining what we want to do. The first line we could add, this is in a lot of plugins. We add this, we don't want the plugins to file to be accessed directly. Now the first step, we want to hook into our, so we added a page. Alright, we added a new page. Now we have elements. Let's select an element. We'll go here to advanced, here to display. And as we could see here, we have groups. We have a group with page, a group with post, a group with user, and a group with date and time, archive, and other, right? We want to add our conditions into a separate group. So how is it possible? How we could do it? So let's take a look at the code. Let's search for conditions. We will find the Elementor file. Condition. Okay, so this is the right one. This is Elementor Pro Models Display Condition. And here we could see we got white as a groups. So we have here the groups that we've seen before in the dropdown, and here we have documentation from Elementor himself registration of group display conditions, fires when in for a new display. And we have here an action, right? And this hook allows developers to register. So now that we know what we want to do, we know that we want to add the hook of register groups to our plugin code. So let's start. Here we're including a file. EC should be O because it's add-on. Register groups. Let's create this file for adding the groups. Alright, now let's create a class. We know the name of the class because it will be ECDO register groups. We'll create this class. Alright, we want to put here a function. The init function auto run. I see Github code pilot. I have suggestion from what I coded, I guess, yesterday. But I want function register groups. Yeah, is what I want. But I don't want this. I want to actually add a group. So here we'll be getting here a variable called condition manager, and with this add group, and here we have the group we want. We will add in this video 3, so let's add the 3 of them, and then this is ACF. We have the geolocation one. We will comment this first for now, because we actually will start with the geolocation one. Once we're done with the geolocation, we'll get back to the other 2. So we have now a group of geolocation, and we declared it right here. So this is the first step. We cannot see it yet because when there's no class, even if we'll go to the backend, we won't see the condition. Let's get back to the next step, which is adding the class geolocation condition. And I believe another step we need to add, I want here to add a namespace just to make the code more organized. We'll call it ECDO conditions. Okay, and here we could, I guess, declare. Okay. Now let's go back here. We want to create the file for geolocation condition. This is the actual logic of the display condition that we will extend Elementor with. Okay, new file. Okay. The name of the class will be geolocation condition. And here we could actually add our namespace right here, since we added a namespace. And let's declare the class. Okay, inside the class we have a few functions to add. First of all, let's add a namespace. Okay, now we'll use here a few models from Elementor, not this one. We don't want this one. We want only the Elementor models. Which models we need here? Yeah, so we want this, but we don't want this class. We want here condition. Yeah, we want the base, the condition base. This is a condition that based on this condition will extend everything. We also want to use a control manager. This is the actual controller that allows us to add controls to the condition display UI. So let's start. The first function we'll add will be this should be empty. This is get options. We're not adding any options. Now get name. Get name. And the name will be user geolocation. So we got this correct. Next function, get group. We need to tell it which the label. Okay. The label will be geolocation region. Actually, let's call it user, just so it will be clear which region we're referring to. Next function, we will add the group, which is geolocation. It should match the group name we added here. Here it's geolocation, and we're adding geolocation. Perfect. Now what else we got? Now we can actually add the controls, which would be we're doing this public. Okay, we want to register control. This is correct. This is our regions right here. We get it from get state options, and we have the comparator. I don't want to use the comparator is, so the default should be, we could just call it bigger. I guess we could call it is one of. Okay. And here the comparators, we didn't declare them, but let's declare them. The comparators are basically let's declare them. Comparators. So here it's auto completed. I don't want to use those from Elementor because they're not extending the class, so I'm just gonna use my own. So let's declare array. One will be is one of, and the next one will be is not one of. Okay. Now we just fix what is off here. One option is one of is correct. There's no string here. Okay. And we also correct our name domain. It's not text domain, it's Elementor condition display add-on. So it will be this. Okay. Now we have the comparators. Okay. So we have here the label, geo regions, select to. It's a Elementor component that allows to select multiple. The reason it's called select to because it was, not sure it still is, it's based on a jQuery plugin called select to that allows to select multiple. Let's replace this to our. Okay, the reason this is important in case we want to add to our plugin multi-language support, this will allow us to do it. All right, we have here comparator to select, and the default is one of. Okay, we covered this part. So now we should have controllers. And now we have the function to actually check. The next function will be to check the if to show the condition or not. This is kind of correct, but this is not correct. It should be args. And here, this is not correct too. This is not correct. This should be args. This is basically the values we got from the field before. So above the controllers, we set two fields. One is a comparator, which is one of or is not one of, and one is a geo regions. So this is both. There's one thing we're gonna hard code in for now. It's a user state. I'm just gonna hard code it for now. Let's hard code it to NV, assuming we're in Avada. Just to simplify things. In a bit, once we see the controllers are adding correctly, we will actually get the state from API as IP. Okay. Is one of so the check is pretty simple. It check if the user state is in the geo region or not. It's a pretty simple test. Okay. Do we have any more code? Yeah, we need to add the US states because we have here a controller to show the states. Let's change it to US states just to make it simple for now. Get US state. And now we need to write a function to get all the states actually. Because currently we don't have a public get US states. It's the same name. I'll call it get US. Okay. Let's call it get US. All right. Now return. I'm waiting for CodePilot to give us all of the states. Yeah, it completed all the states. Now we have all the US states. We just have one error here. What is the error? We did on function. Okay. It's also good. I think we have all the parts in order to run the code. We just forgot here to say that this extends condition base. This class, it's important to declare it extends Elementor class of condition base. I believe we have all we need. Oh, there's one error here. What's the problem? It's not compatible with a method. Okay, probably we need to add here. Okay, now it matches. The original function has this return type, so it wants to add it too. Let's see if it will load. We got an error. Let's see what is that error. Probably missed out something. I could see the error here in the file called debug log. Okay, let's see what's the error. Register group is not a meta register group. Okay, it's related somehow to our groups. Okay, I think we called here add group. Oh, we had a typo. That's all. Register. Register groups. All right, I think now we should be good. So register group. We did that group. Let's see if the name matches over here in the main folder of the function. I think now it should match. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, the file loaded. Now let's see if we have a new controller, or new condition that we added. Yeah, here's the new controller. Let's see, let's do Nevada. So now the condition is Nevada. So if user location Nevada is one of, later we'll change the order. Is one of, it will make sense to have the condition before. Let's change the order of the controllers. We'll put this after this. This makes sense. Okay. So now we have, now as a user in Nevada, we should see our pricing plans. Okay. Let's publish this page. And now, because I hard-coded the user to be in Nevada in the check function right here, we should be able to see this block. Let's take a look at the page. And now we see the pricing plan. Now let's add another block. Let's see, how can I duplicate? So let's rename this to apply the NV, and we'll call this Arizona, for example, AZ. Okay, and now we could see both, right? Let's add a condition now for the Arizona one to be shown only in Arizona. Arizona. No, not this one. Okay, it's actually duplicated the condition as well. So we'll just move Nevada, keep Arizona. Now we should be able to see only the Nevada one. Now let's go to our code, change it to Arizona. And now we should see only the Arizona part. So now so we could see the condition works. We could also make the condition opposite to be, let's change both condition to be one of. So let's duplicate this. Duplicate, call it all states. And we'll set this condition to be if it's not Nevada and not Arizona. So let's do if is not one of. So now if you're not in Nevada, not in Arizona, you should see all states because we did the opposite condition. Let's see. We still see AZ. Interesting. Let's see why. Maybe our logic is off. We're in Arizona, so we should see Arizona. Okay. Right. We need to change our state. Let's change this to New York. And now in New York, let's take a look. In New York, we'll see all states because we're not in Nevada, not in Arizona. Let's add the last part of this add-on, of this condition, which will be to actually get the state from a geo. So we have this function. We have this function get user state. Let's call it geo state. Okay. Okay. Here we have some code already, but it doesn't make sense. We want to get the code from there's a service called IP. It's called iPuppy. It's basically IP API in one word. We all use that API to get the IP of the user in the website. So we'll get the IP with this variable. We should ideally add some sanitize to it, but we're just doing a demo now. Okay, now we're gonna do a curl. All right, now option 1. Yeah, it's already completed our URL. And okay, that's good. Now we get a response. All right. Now we want to check if we get a response. Okay. Response. It should be response data. And now we check if the response has region. We'll return the region, which is the state, and if not, it will just return false. So this should return the state. Currently, I'm on my local computer, so I can't really test it. But we could try to get any IP from the internet. I don't know, let's try the IP of Google. We could take any IP address. This should be somewhere in the US, and we'll see if we get a good result. Okay, now let's keep this variable. Let's just override the IP here. Okay, it's IP. So I believe it should show all states the page now. Okay, let's see if we got back all states, and we could see we got back all states. Let's search for Nevada IP address. And now let's see if we could find something. Okay, this seems to be a Nevada IP address. Let's put this IP address. Okay, let's try this IP. And now, once we'll put this IP, we should be able to see Nevada block, not all states. Let's try. We still see all states. Interesting. Maybe it's not coming up on Nevada. Let's try a different one. Okay, this clearly comes up in Nevada. Let's try this IP. Did we remove the code to get where we get the state from? Let's see. Could we still hard coding? Well, we're not hard coding. Let's try to debug this. Let's debug what we get back from the API. So, easy way to debug, we could just do what here? We could do let's validate the response. Let's see what we get back. Okay. So I use this API too much. I don't have an API key. That's why it fails. But if you'll, cause I use this API a little bit today, if we, I wonder how they, detected probably by my IP address. So that's the reason I didn't get a response. But if you'll try it out, it should work. Now, if you actually want to use in a plugin a similar logic, ideally you should get the API key. There's many services. You could just Google IP, API, IP location, API, and there's many services that allow to register. You get an API key, and you'll get a similar response to what we could see. Let's find a different JSON, which will be a better example. No, we don't want this. Let's copy one of the IP we had before, like this one. So they will return us a JSON similar to this, and then we could pull the state from here to subvision. Each API may have different keys, but we just need to look in the documentation, get the state, and we could use this worldwide to different services in different regions. So we could wrap up this section of the Geo user IP location. There's currently plugins that do similar functionality, but with writing a simple condition like this, we could override the use of these plugins. One thing to think about is that sometimes with cache plugins, you won't always get, if it's cached on CloudFront, for example, CloudFront will cache per region, but some cache services may cache not per region. So one user from one region could get a cached page of a different region. So this is why Elementor in the conditions add this message right here. Let's cancel our, we could cancel with var dump. We have it here. Cancel this. If we look, it's actually here. The reason Elementor shows here this message is because when we're using cache plugins, we got to think about all of the side effects that may happen. A simple solution, if we're only using this in one page, we could disable the cache for one page. But if you're using it throughout the site, we need to be sure it works correctly. This is why we have this note right here. All right, I believe we wrapped up this condition. Let's move on to the next one. The next condition we want to add is the one from is the WooCommerce price one. We already have the code here, which is requiring the file, calling the class, and register condition instance. Let's create the file. No, we don't want to cut. We want to copy. This will be very similar to the previous class that we created for Geo. We want to add, let's first declare the namespace. And the class name will be WooCommerce product price condition. Okay. Namespace. Got it. We want to call it class WooCommerce price condition extends. We need to use it first. It's close, but we don't want this class. We want a base class, basically. Yeah, we want this. We also want this. We will extend condition base. Alright, let's start by, this should be empty. Oh, I removed it. Good. Now get name, it's product price. Now get label, it's auto completed to product price, but we don't want it to be Elementor Pro. We want it to be our prefix, which is Elementor condition display add-on. Alright. The next one, get group. The group of this function will be WooCommerce. And I believe we could start registering the controls. Okay, it auto-completed. So we have the comparator equal, if it's equal to a price or greater than a price or less than a price. The default should be equal. This is the comparator we will use. And we have a control for the price, which is a number. And the default will be 0. And add control section. And do we have any other code we need to add here? I believe we need to add a check function as well. So it's auto-completed as well. If you wonder how it's auto-completed, probably it remembers what I wrote yesterday. And when I wrote it, it actually auto-completed based, I guess, maybe whoever wrote the Elementor add-on uses GitHub Copilot, so it knew a little bit. It's a very similar syntax to all Elementor plugins extensions. So, okay, we need to import this from WooCommerce, this class. Basically, if the page is not a WooCommerce product, we want to exit. We need to use product, and before we want to add some checks. If the page is not a product page, we don't need this condition to run at all. So let's add this, and okay. So now, if we're not in a product page, the condition should exit. So I think we have all the code, and the condition is if it's equal, then check if the product price is equal to the price. If it's greater, check if it's greater, less. So I believe, 1 minute, it doesn't find this instance for some reason. Why not? Let's see, why not? I did WP product. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let's go ahead. I already added some products, so we'll go to the backend and take a look at the product. We have here products. We have a lamp. The lamp has a price of 10. So let's add a condition to show a banner only if the price is low. So we could go to the product. Let's view the product. Now we need to go to view. We're getting an error. Which error we get? This is not correct. Completely not correct. This should come from the args. Yeah. The price of the product comes from here, and we want the value as well. The price should come from, let's see, we called it price. Yeah. Okay. We can't cross the AI code. Alright, now we're good. So now we have the price is 10, so the price is not low, so we don't see the banner. Let's go into the template and see what are the settings. Elementor single product. We have here a banner low price. Let's see what is the condition we set on this banner. We have here a condition. Well, we don't see our WooCommerce. We may forget to uncomment it in the condition or add it here. Yeah, we didn't uncomment it here. Okay. Now we will have WooCommerce back. So this banner condition is set. Product price is less than 5. Let's make it less than 10. Save and close. Update. And now if we look at this product, where is our lamp? Where is our lamp? The price is 10, okay. And the condition, if it's less than 10, let's see if it's equal. Let us an equal condition. So the equal condition works. And now let's see. Let's go to the product. Products. And let's change the price to 5. We do quick edit. Change the price to 5. We want to change the condition to lower. Let's change the condition to lower. Less than. Okay, it should be lower than 5, and now it's 5. So I guess we need to lower the price to 4 in order to see this banner. The price is 4 and we still don't see the condition. Maybe we forgot to change. Let's take a look. Advanced. Price is less than 10. We should see now the low price. But it doesn't work. Let's debug. Let's see what we got wrong here. Okay, the product area is less, so the product get price. If the price is lower than, okay, we could just dump our, okay. We called price the same thing twice. The price, the product get price. Yeah, we don't need this. The price condition, let's call it price condition, just to be more clear. Condition, so we won't get confused. Still don't see the banner. How come? If the product price is less than 10, change it to 9. 7 close, update. Okay, let's figure out why. What if we'll flip the condition to be greater than 9? This is the reason. Okay, we didn't fit this. Okay, now it doesn't work because we flipped the condition. Now let's get the condition right. Less than. Update. Yeah, and now we see the banner. So as we could see, this condition works. We just need to be sure we get our variables correct. And the basic to add a condition that interacts with a different plugin, we could see we need to, if it's a plugin that has namespaces, we could import the namespaces from the plugin. For example, here we're adding the namespace from WooCommerce. And we adding checks to see that we in the correct page. We don't want to load this condition in the pages that are not relevant. Also, we added another check right here to be sure. Probably for production use, there's a few more test checks we need to add, but for this sample, this is good enough. So we could wrap up this WooCommerce product by price condition. Let's move on to the next one. Now we will get to the last condition, which is the most interesting condition. It's a condition by ACF, which is Advanced Custom Fields field. So let's first of all uncomment the group. I have the group here, and we have here the file. But before adding the file, we need to, for our demo, we'll need to add some fields. So let's create a file. It already knows we need to add this file. Let's call it custom fields. Okay, and this file, we'll call it will it know how I want to call it? Yep, it knows. Nice, so we have here, it will init in ACF and add, let's see that we want actually this field. One field will add rating, one field will add summary text field. It will be a drop down from 1 to 10 the rating. And it will be added to post type post. Okay, this is good. Let's see that it was added correctly. We could go into the dashboard, into a post, and we have here some posts I already have, but we could see the custom fields Where is our custom fields? Should be below. Is it not here? Okay, let's see what we did wrong. We included this file. Okay. I believe we need to init a class. We didn't init a class. Yeah, now we have custom field is rating and some summary text. I already created a few, so we have the title could tell us the rating just for easy testing. So this will be, there's actually 3. Let's see that the other 2 are correct. 9 is 8. This is also correct. Okay, 9 is 9. And let's set 10 to be 10. So we have 4 posts with different rating. This is some initial work we need to do just for demo. Now we could actually add the class of the custom field condition. Okay, let's create this file. The name is not correct, it should be O. Actually, we don't need here the name at all. Alright. Let's declare the class. So again, we'll declare a class. The name of the class will be custom fields. But it's not, no, this is not the code we want. We want ACF field value condition. This is how we will call the class. Where is our file? Right here. And I'm curious how much GitHub Copilot will know to fill up now. We already know we need to set a namespace, and we want to use the condition base. We want to use the control manager, exactly like the other classes. And we want to extend condition base. We already know this as well. Okay, now let's start public. First of all, get option, which is empty. Get name. Yeah, this is correct. Get label, this is correct too. It even gets the prefix of the plugin correct. Next one is get group, ACF, this is correct. Now we could move on to register. This is a helper. Okay, we'll need this function get ACF fields. This is to get the fields that belong to the page, because we want to drop down with the fields. So this will give us a field. This is a function to get the value by name. Okay. No, I'm not sure we need this function at all. We know we want to register the fields. Public function register. Now, how we call this function? Let's look at the other controls. The name was this and this. We have check. It was a protected function. Okay, that's why I didn't get it. Okay. So this will be a protected function. Where the stock controls. Okay. And now this is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Select. Yeah, this is correct. Comparison type. Yeah, we'll do is and is not. This is correct too. And we have another field to save the actual value as a field. And now, okay, so we added the control now. One field, we will have a drop down with a custom fields belongs to the page. Second will be the comparator, which will be is or is not. And this field, ACF field value, we will save the actual value we want to compare. Unlike the other fields that we had only 2, here we have 3 because we have the drop down of the custom field as well. Now let's add the check function. Okay. Now this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. We check in the 3 values. We get the post ID, we get the field, and then if it's equal, it's true. If not, it's not true. I think this is all we need in order to run this feature. Let's see if we able to load the page or we get errors. So now let's go to post. We have an error. Let's look at the code first. Field should be an empty field, empty array. Yeah, I believe this is what we want. Let's see, I see groups. Okay, yeah, this is what we're missing. We want to get the fields by key. Once we have the group fields, then we could do another for each and get the labels of the fields. And I think now we should be able to, now we'll have the fields. Previous function was something different. It didn't get us a list of drop down of the fields. Okay, I see the issue is simply we forgot to return the fields here, so this control here didn't have fields, so it errored out, that's all. Let's reload now, see if it works. Okay, let's set the condition of this box. It's high rating, so this should show field value rating is we don't want equal or not equal, we want bigger and smaller, so let's change the code a bit. We want here equal, bigger, bigger, and smaller. Alright, and here we need to modify this logic as well. Okay. Yeah, this is exactly what we want. And I believe this should now work. Here's our high rating box. Condition. ACF field value rating is bigger than 7. Save and close. And now we have another box here. For other posts, let's make this a header. That's so it will be more clear. We could delete this one. Heading. We'll put the heading here. Let's copy the text from here to the heading. Could delete this. Again, it deleted everything. Let's get it back. We want to delete only this box. Okay. Delete. Okay. So now, assuming for other posts with higher rating, please check post archive. So this we want to show if the rating is low, which will be add condition, ACF field value, if rating is smaller than 5. So if all works correct, we should see the high rating when the rating is above 7, and we should see this title to see other posts with higher ratings if the rating is below what we set, below 5. Now let's take a look if it actually works. Let's go to the post list. Here we have the post list. Let's start with this. The rating of this post was 3. It's actually 2. It's because 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. It's correct. Okay, let's take a look at this post. So we see here, we don't see the high rating, but we don't see our condition as well. This is weird. Let's take a look at one of the high rating posts. Let's take a look at the high rating. The high rating, it doesn't have the condition as well. So our condition does not work. Let's figure out why. Then we're getting the comparator. Then we have the value. This is not correct. This should not be here. Okay. And then we just need to var dump the comparison type. Let's var dump the ACF field value. And already see the problem. We're comparing the value to the no, we do need the ACF value. Okay, let's get ACF. Let's call it condition. Yeah, okay. Now it will all make sense. So if the field value is bigger than the condition, this, if the value is smaller than the condition, no, opposite. If the value is smaller than the condition, and here if it's equal to the condition, and I believe now our code will work. We need to look at the post. Let's look at the high rating post. Yeah, here we have the high rating. Let's remove our var dumps. We don't need them anymore. So we do see the high rating, and we don't see the other box. Now let's go to one of the posts. The lower rating. Let's go to 3. And we could see this big title that we had a condition for. So, as we could see in the proof of concept, it's pretty easy to add ACF condition display value. The main comment I took from this exercise is that when we use Github Copilot, we gotta be much more careful on what it adds. Because sometimes the first time it will get it correctly, but the second time it will try to make it better or change things, and then it doesn't work. But overall, this went pretty well with GitHub Copilot. It's a very useful tool to develop. So for summary, it's pretty easy to add condition display values. This code is only for demonstration. Do not use this code in production. I will post this code on GitHub. If you're interested in more similar tutorials, I'm in the final stages of recording a course about developing Elementor add-ons. I'll put a link below so you could sign up just to get early access if you're interested when it will be ready.